to the new thing isn't global warming or isn't Ukraine or isn't COVID. Now it's the Muslims. And I don't like a lot of the stuff Israel's doing. I think they stood down. I think it was a false flag. I mean, I think real Islamicists attacked, but it was clearly money Biden sent. But what's the larger picture here with Harvard and the big universities endorsing this? We got a lot to talk about in the 45 minutes or so we've got him, and I'm going to cover some more news after he leaves us in this hour before the next guest joins us. But clearly we said another big war is coming. That's going to be the distraction from the COVID deaths, all the rest of it. And now they're trying to trigger a holy war. Obviously, you get boosted big on Twitter and everywhere else, Hotep, where you're already reaching millions a day if you got on the bandwagon. But clearly the establishment is trying to create some type of clash of civilizations here. Hotep Jesus, thank you for joining us, hotepjesus.com. And the people can also find you at Hotep Jesus on Twitter and menofhonor.com. So, Hotep, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Oh, absolute pleasure, Alex. So, yeah, so your take on Israel is pretty much similar to my take. Obviously, the timing is convenient. We have election season now here, a.k.a. grifting season. Nikki Haley has proven to be a supreme grifter herself after her comments on Fox last night. But what's the bigger story here? Well, first of all, the next distraction is to create something domestically, right? Create some sort of event domestically. Now, it's been happening in spurts here and there. You have protesters clashing. You have Grand Central Station being attacked by pro-Palestine protesters. You have Jewish people being attacked. A lot of different skirmishes have taken place on domestic soil. Much of this planned, much of this known by the elite rulers. And that was one of my fears early on, where there's conflict in the Middle East, and because of all the vitriol on social media spilled into our streets. Now, much of this stuff, as we know, Hamas and Palestine has been supported by George Soros. Black Lives Matter supported by George Soros. We've tracked down some of these protests between the pro-Palestine socialists, I think Stop the War Coalition is one of them. And Jeremy Corbyn is partly behind some of these protests. So what we have is a communist socialist takeover of another people's struggle. But what's the bigger story that's happening here? Well, while everybody's distracted by the Middle East, what we are experiencing is a complete and total financial transformation where money is going to change how it operates, both at a wholesale level and a retail level. Right now, the House Financial Services Committee is discussing Basel III Endgame. And basically what they're talking about now is, what are the capital requirements for a banking institution? Now, we know what the capital requirements have been since COVID. They said that they are basically zero. You need zero reserves. But now Basel III is challenging some of that and saying that banks need to hold more money, more cash, more capital, which is going to hurt, obviously, the small guys. So what we're looking at right now is actually a huge transformation of the banking industry. If you look, you'll see many banks right now shutting down. You have Wells Fargo.
By the way, let me just interrupt you and say bingo, 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 ding, 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 ding. We're coming to the end of the big bubble, the new rollout of the central bank currencies. They admit it, and they need crises as the diversion to bring this in.
That's correct. And not only so the crises is going to be the diversion so they don't see all the laws being passed. But then later on, the crisis is going to be the reason why we need the new banking transformation, right? So we have Basel III. Let's put that aside for a second. They're meeting about that today.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there, you understand? You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed by Hotep Jesus are those of Hotep Jesus's and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Hotep Nation or any of its officials. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact our Office of General Counsel via the sheet of account. And Hotep and them.
The reactionary movement is doing what they do best. Well, reacting. The Grift Report starts right now.
2, 1, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
and
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
What's up, people? Welcome to the Grift Report, live Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm your host, the Grift God.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Hotep to the chat. Hotep to the Hoteps. Hotep to the Hotepistanis.
Hotep.
What up, y'all? Strong Dad, what up, man? See y'all. Retro Neon, I see you over there on Rumble. Nas, what up? Shout out to my Moors in the house. I see you. I see the Moors in the house. Metastep. Seneca, what up, man? River King, I see you. Jay Pylon, I see you. Don't forget, or I should say, do remember. What am I about to say? Anybody know what I'm about to say? Type it in the chat if you know what I'm about to say. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grifties. Go get your Grifties tickets. Grifties tickets on sale right now. VIP is sold out. General admission is now available. Over half the room is booked already. It seats like 100-something people. Go get your tickets. Go get your tickets. We got 1/8 of the Tim Cass crew. We got Phil That Remains and Shane Cashman joining us. We got Alex Stein, Primetime 99. Chrissy Maya, confirmed. Sam Tripoli, pretty much confirmed. Just looking to get himself booked for a couple of events. Who else is confirmed? Anomaly, somewhat confirmed. There's a bit of issue with accommodations, but we'll make those happen. Shout out to Anomaly. We're going to get Anomaly out here. Sonny Johnson going to be there. So we got a nice action-packed show for y'all. Steph Colonel said Grifty's going to sell it by the end of next week. Quite possible. As fast as the tickets are selling out, it is quite possible. I haven't even run ads yet. Might not have to run ads. We'll see. Yeah, of course we got Sam. Sam Tripoli is the reason why we even found this comedy club. I was like, yo, we need a spot to do the Grifties at. And I hit up Sam because I know he does the comedy club out here in Jersey. And he's the one that made the connect. So, yeah, we're going to get Sam involved. We're going to work on pre and post events as well. So stay tuned for all of those developments. I want to make those pre and post events as free as possible. If there's a fee associated with it, it'll be definitely worth your time and money. Just not sure what those events will look like, but or we'll just eat the cost, you know. Yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody, flies out, gets their money's worth. Although the event is only $25, so but you're still paying for airfare and hotel, so we want to make sure we got a nice weekend planned for you, all right? Anyway, with all that being said, bills being paid, shout out to my sponsor, Syscoin. Shout out to people who hold Syscoin, who purchase Syscoin, who got Syscoin from me. You're welcome. Bull market is here. I don't know if it's officially here. At least the crypto bull market seems to be here. Some drama surrounding the Bitcoin ETF I see the crypto heads are, eagerly anticipating this Bitcoin ETF. I don't exactly understand why. Maybe because, number go up. Other than that, I don't see why it would be, such a thing to applaud. But anyway, let's get into what we need to get into. I do want to start off with the Hunter Biden story. Before we, I want to start with the distraction before we get into the important stuff, just to show you what the fuck is going on out here. And a little bit of, we got a little bit of sports in the bag today. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the SEC. Right? Okay. Let's pull this up on your screen. Hold on. So.
For 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently, you're afraid of my words.
Whoa! Oh.
I'd like to reclaim my time, Mr. Chairman.
Kind of burst their bubble. Wow, that's too bad.
For 5 minutes.
So this is what everybody is distracted about today. Is it still the number one trending topic? Yeah, it's still number one trending topic. SEC gets hacked and people are concerned with Hunter Biden walking out of court. Meanwhile, Hunter played you. Okay. This was, I don't know who planned this, but this was some 5D chess being played right here by the Biden crime family. This is what you call trolling IRL. Okay. Trolling in real life. That's what this was. They've been complaining that Hunter Biden doesn't show up to the hearings. And he's like, you know what? Watch this. I'm going to show up and then I'm going to leave as soon as MTG starts to speak. Now, I don't know what bridges I'm burning here with my next comment, but this is the Grift Report and we keep it funky over here. And I don't trust MTG. I really don't trust her. And it's very shallow, the reason why. It's not much merit to it. I'm going to be honest about that. But anytime a woman dyes her hair blonde, I can't trust her.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Especially when she's in the spotlight and sitting in Congress. A congresswoman is supposed to be concerned with policy and legislation and all this other stuff, right? And she's gone and dyed her hair, which tells me that she's concerned more about becoming a media darling than a politician, because dyeing your hair blonde is something that women do when they're in media. They dye their hair blonde so they get more TV time. It's some white Aryan supremacy media white man magic stuff. I don't know what the fuck it is, but everybody in media dyes their hair blonde when it comes to the women, and then the men shave off their mustache and their beard. And they say that you're more trustworthy if you do this, according to Mzungu Media Magic. And so, yeah, I don't trust her, because it's like, no, leave your hair the color it was and get to work. You're not exactly a looker to begin with. And so obviously she's thinking about her career post-Congress, and much of her priorities is, trolling. So she got trolled, right? She came up here to make a spectacle out of Congress, and she got trolled by a crackhead. Okay. This isn't news. Hunter Biden made this news. This is a huge distraction. Nothing was going to come from these hearings anyway. The Republicans have done a piss poor job of trying to nail the Biden crime family. And they've been able to slither out of all of the GOP Republican snares or traps. Just hasn't panned out. You're better off having somebody like, I don't know, Anomaly, take MTG's seat to cross-examine witnesses and really boil down what is important to nail the Biden crime family. And Republicans just aren't smart enough to do that. But reiterate my previous point, this is 5D chess by the Biden crime family. They complain you don't show up, so you show up, and then you leave. And so what does that do? Well, first of all, it creates this huge distraction, right? It it shows complete disrespect of MTG and turns her into a absolute circus clown, where, you know, they basically say, well, we don't respect her, so we're going to walk out when she talks to let everybody know she's not reputable, and we're not going to respect her. So what this does is it has a psychological effect on these Republicans. And without trying to get too deep into it, it's just classic 48 laws of power, create confusion amongst your enemy. Because, you know, Hunter walks in and then they go, oh, wow, we got him. He's here. MTG, I'm going to nail him. So then she gets her hopes up. But you can look at her face and you can see the complete and utter disappointment. She goes from being happy he's here, it's my turn to speak, to just look at her facial expression. She's embarrassed and she's not happy. Look at the fake smile right there. You see that? She's like, damn, like I had something planned. And he threw a wrench in it. Now you have nothing. 5D chess. 5D chess, Democrats are always one step ahead of the right. And this is another example of that. So while everybody is being distracted by this non-entity, this lack of merit for our story, we're going to get into that one in a second. Let's pull this up on the screen. No, I'll play that one after. Let's go here. Let's pull this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's pull this up. We'll come back to that one in a second. Here we are. So this guy says, breaking the Bitcoin ETF announcement hack would have violated SEC government rules adopted in July that require a high level of cybersecurity risk management, securities tell Fox Business. So we're going to revisit that and go down this rabbit hole. Very small rabbit hole, or shallow rabbit hole, I should say. So Gary Gensler takes to his account last night, 4:26 p.m. And he says the SEC Gov Twitter account was compromised and an unauthorized tweet was posted. The SEC was not approved. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin ETF products. Okay. Or exchange traded products. After further investigation, X says here, we can confirm that the account SEC Gov was compromised and we have completed a preliminary investigation. Based on our investigation, the compromise was not due to any breach of X's systems, but rather due to an unidentified individual obtaining control over a phone number associated with the SEC Gov account through a third party. We can also confirm that the account did not have two-factor authentication enabled at the time the account was compromised. We encourage all users to enable this extra layer of security. More important information and tips, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So the SEC, what is the SEC's job? Let's look that up. Let's see what the SEC is supposed to do. Right? Actually, you know what? Let's make this fun. Let's ask ChatGPT. What is the role of the SEC? Let's see what ChatGPT pops out. So it says here, Securities and Exchange Commission plays a critical role in overseeing and regulating the securities markets. Its primary functions include protecting investors. I'm not even going to go into the rest of this here because the primary role is right there, protecting investors. When the SEC allowed their Twitter account to get hacked, did they or did they not fail in protecting investors? As you know, many people they headed to their investment accounts to make investments based upon the announcement that the Bitcoin ETF was approved. So people made adjustments. They put their money on the line based upon news that came directly from the governing body of the SEC. So they failed at their primary duty, which is protecting investors. Not only did they failed in a very academic way. How are you the SEC and you do not have 2FA authorized on your account, enabled on your account? How do you do that? How do you do that? It's a gross failure to protect investors. So what happens next? We're going to come back to that. So again, this hack, had this been anybody else, the SEC would have fined them and whatever else, whatever other penalties they levy upon an entity that does not meet their demands and requirements. It says right here, cybersecurity risk management. If SEC cannot secure their own Twitter account, how can they secure the markets?
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
How can they secure the markets? How can they protect investors if they can't even protect their X, formerly known as Twitter account? They can't. They can't. They're inept, impotent, ineffective. Okay? So then what happens next? Zero Hedge posts this from Bloomberg. And it says the only thing that it amplifies is the glaring incompetence of idiots at the SEC Gov who can't enable 2FA account. But nice spin, guy. So it says here, Bloomberg published this story. It says, SEC account hack amplifies concerns over security at Musk X. So Bloomberg tries to defer blame to Twitter and say it was Twitter. It says breach underscores questions about reliability of news on X. So I said to myself, surely they didn't do this. So I looked up Bloomberg to see what they said, and I got this on a blog post popped up. SEC's X account hacked to falsely say Bitcoin ETF approved. So I didn't see it, so I did a search on the exact keywords, and I did find the story. This is actually published on Bloomberg. SEC account hack amplifies security questions at Musk X. Subtitle here, breach underscores questions about reliability of news on X. Now, I refuse to give Bloomberg my money for whatever reason. But you can see how they want to defer blame, which shows you that Bloomberg, SEC is one big club. These are pretty much the same people. They all have lunch together, dinner together, party together, Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, whatever. They all do the cookout together. It's just one big club, and we ain't in it. As, who was that, George Carlin? As George Carlin has previously stated, RIP his soul. So they try to spin it to protect the governing body of the SEC. Now, I posted this tweet earlier. Right here. This is while I was studying. I was studying, finance and money mechanics this morning. And I said, the greatest crimes committed against the American people have all been financial. But you won't find this subject matter at the core of most political arguments. No, it's too big brained. It requires too much thinking. You know what people rather argue about? They rather talk about Hunter Biden. This grabs people's attention. Hunter Biden walked out of a hearing. That's just not hard to understand. You ask people, about the SEC, tell you something about SEC, they couldn't tell you a damn thing about it. They have no idea how our system works. And then they wonder why they get the shit politicians that they get, because you're just not intelligent. You don't deal in intellectual matters. You deal in small brain matters. You deal in adult gossip. That's what you like. You like adult gossip. It's like for black people, you have the shade room. Yeah, this is like the white shade room. That's what these media outlets that talk about Hunter Biden today. That's what they are. They're the white shade room, where instead of talking about entertainment, they talk about politics, but they don't talk about the real nuts and bolts of politics. They talk about just the gossip surrounding politics. We need to nominate all these people for a Grifty or Grifter of the Year. The hoi polloi do not enjoy intellectual matters. They will not take the time to turn themselves into intellectuals or even dive into the intellectual matters. Do you see the SEC trending here? SEC is not trending. Jason Whitlock is trending over the SEC. Why? Because Stephen A. Smith has said something? We'll take a look at this. I'll bookmark this. We'll come back to this. It's not important right now. We'll come back to it for the sake of entertainment purposes. But why? Why? Why is nobody talking about the fact that the SEC has broken its own rules? Do you know how hugely, this is why you don't have change in this country. This is exactly why you don't have change in this country. Because the important things are not discussed and the unimportant things are discussed. Y'all not sending Hunter to jail. Y'all not sending Biden to jail. So quit the charade, put the bullshit down. And even if you sent them to jail, that would not be more important than what the SEC committed, the gross acts that the SEC committed last night. The inability to secure a Twitter account shows how negligent, how immature the SEC is. One of these financial governing bodies. You want to take it to the system, you got to take it to the financial entities. You want to know about Epstein Island and the names of the list, you got to take it to the financial entities, aka JP Morgan Chase. Nobody talks about the money. Nobody talks about the money. Let's talk about, celebrity gossip. Let's talk about political gossip. Let's not talk about anything important. Then you wonder why the country looks the way it does. You wonder why everybody's complaining about inflation. It's a financial matter. Now you're talking about the CFTC, the Fed, the Board of Governors of the Fed, the SEC, all of the financial criminal enterprises that govern our lives. But nobody's talking about the SEC. If it wasn't for crypto Twitter, I would really, I would lose all hope for people. All hope would be gone. Because only crypto Twitter is talking about the SEC thing. Your favorite right-wing talking heads, they're not talking about the SEC. Why? It doesn't get clicks. Go down the street, ask people, who's the SEC? They ain't going to be able to tell you who the SEC is. I'll tell you who Hunter Biden is, though. Meanwhile, SEC wants to take away your rights. Hunter Biden can't take away your rights. The SEC wants to literally take away your rights. They limit your rights. They limit what you can and cannot do, how you can spend your money. The SEC wants to cripple your ability to transact outside of their system. They want to turn you into financial slaves. But your talking heads aren't talking about it. Just like yesterday. You got the Chabad with underground tunnels. Right wing ain't talk about it. The reactionary movement didn't talk about it. Complete media blackout. SEC gets hacked. Complete media blackout. You cannot take the reactionary movement, aka the red white, serious. You cannot. This is a repeat of the black community. Everything the black community does wrong, the white community does wrong. Black community is distracted by bullshit. The white community is distracted by bullshit. Y'all all the same. There's no difference between you two. The only difference is, one group of people is talking about shaking booty and shaking ass, and another group of people is talking about shaking booty and shaking ass. Epstein, Hunter Biden, same shit. Same shit. Gossip. That's what you're worried about. That's what the people want. They want gossip. The people do not want intellectual matters. So yesterday again, Complete media blackout on them tunnels. Nobody want to talk about it. A couple of people try to save face and talk about it today and say, oh, the memes were great. You ain't talk about it yesterday, though. Try to save face because you know your credibility went down the tubes a little bit with your audience. They're like, yo, how come you ain't talking about this? You talk about all the breaking news, but you ain't talking about these tunnels. Potentially leading towards a child museum. Allegedly. You ain't talking about this SEC. People don't give a fuck about America. Half of them don't give a fuck about America. They only care about themselves. The other half aren't smart enough to care about the things that you're supposed to care about. You know, this was Russia. Actually, Russia's a bad example. If this were Brazil, if this were Poland, if this were France, and their financial governing body did something like this, they'd be in the streets. Like, nah, bro, you got to leave your position. You got to leave your post. Some countries, they would have hung Gary Gensler. Those are just the facts. And I'm not saying we need to hang Gary Gensler. Maybe proverbially, but literally no. Just think he needs to be fired. SEC needs to be dismantled. Brick by brick. Layer by layer. Slowly but surely dismantled. But nobody talked about that. Because the hoi polloi do not deal in intellectual manners. Steph Colonel says France is more American than Americans. Facts. Facts. Shout out to Rue. He says only Hotep Jesus is courageous enough. I mean, I just can't sit up here and talk about something that's not news to my audience and pretend like it's news. I can't do that. It's not in me to do that. It's just not in me to do that. I got to talk about something that people aren't going to talk about. That's what I bring to you on the Grift Report. News you're not going to hear nowhere else, or the news you hear somewhere else with takes you won't hear anywhere else. The shit nobody wants to say. The shit nobody wants to acknowledge or doesn't have the intellectual capacity to acknowledge. But what the SEC did last night was against their own rules. And it was a very basic thing to do, is set up 2FA on your Twitter account, and you failed to do it. So how are you going to say, for example, let's go to the next video. Hold on. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that because that video I just showed you is quite concerning. Here, let's go right here. Look at this.
There's also new regulation coming on Bitcoin, and you famously said recently that you would shut it down if you were in government. Can you give us more clarity on that?
Yeah, what I was also pointing out is that the actual use cases are sex trafficking, tax avoidance, anti-money laundering, terrorism financing. It's not people just buying and selling Bitcoin. There's no value to if you're buying and selling Bitcoin.
A lot there from
All right.
Jamie Dimon.
Jamie Dimon. I've gone through his background. You guys know about the musical chairs between Jamie Dimon, J.P. Morgan Chase, and the federal, the Board of Governors for the Federal Reserve. We've gone down that rabbit hole. If you haven't, good luck. Maybe we'll revisit in the future. But this is how they talk about a protocol free for all. Meanwhile, the FBI did an investigation, found that less than 2% of the crypto transactions are for illegal activities. But what kind of illegal activities was J.P. Morgan involved with? He said sex trafficking. I'm always going to come back to this. You want to talk about sex trafficking? What about that $75 million lawsuit? This was done in what? This was the USD. The United States dollar. J.P. Morgan agrees to pay $75 million to settle lawsuit with U.S. Virgin Islands government over alleged Epstein trafficking ties. Their bank accounts were used to facilitate sex trafficking. But what does Jamie Dimon say? Oh, it's Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin. right? So you got the financial monsters right in front of your face, laughing in front of your face, committing gross acts, facilitating sex trafficking. And you don't say anything. You're worried about fucking Hunter Biden walking out of a hearing. The ignorant masses, the common brain masses, the I don't want to think masses. That's what this is. This is how they talk. This is how they talk about your freedom. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna talk about SEC. None of your talking heads talk about the SEC today. Where your talking heads at? Matter of fact, I'm gonna type in SEC. I'm gonna go to advanced search. No, let's go search settings, I believe. No. Advanced search. No. Over here. People you follow. Let's see. Let's see from the people I follow who talked about it. First person that pops up, Wendy O. Carol Roth. Shout out to Carol Roth. Now I just like to say that the first two people that popped up for me are Jewish women.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
So you can say what you want about Jews, but they be on top of this shit. Where the white man at? Wolf of all streets. He's talking about it. It's a good guy right there. These are all crypto heads. Notice, all these people are crypto heads. Libertarians. They go Crypto Hotep. They go Randy Hipper. Another Jew. Female Jew. She's talking about it. There's 3 female Jews that's talking about the SEC got hacked. Y'all want to talk about Jews. The Jews talking about it. Where's your white talking heads? The Jews talking about it. You can say what you want about them, but they talking about it. Corey Costa, crypto. Bruce Fenton, another libertarian. I can't take Ashley St. Clair. She talked about it. Jewish woman. The Jews is undefeated right now. They go Eliza Blue. She got in on the grift. Girl going crypto. Gorka, that was last night. Here's Chris. This is a couple of days ago. Chris over at Rumble. SEC is giving them troubles. Bridget Fedesi. Where your talking heads at? Where they at? Where they at? So he's not talking. The Quartering's not talking about it. He's talking about, the issue with Rumble. Where you talking heads at, man? Where they at? Anomaly talking about it. He doesn't understand it, but he's talking about it. Where you talking heads on this? They're not there. They're not there. They don't deal in real matters. They don't deal in real matters. This doesn't happen. James Lindsay. He's looking into Boeing. I don't know if he's talked about this yet. But I think I've made my point. We can move on. Tell your favorite talking head to talk about some serious shit. Okay? Talk about some serious shit. Stop fucking wasting our time. Seems more like a libertarian issue. Wow. Wow. Yo, what was Ronald Reagan's quote? Hold on. Right here. Let's pull up old Reagan. Y'all like this nigga, right? Let's pull up Reagan. What Reagan say about libertarianism? Let's put it on your screen. Ronald Reagan quote. It's a real quote.
If you analyze it, I believe the very heart and soul of conservatism is libertarianism. I think conservatism is really a misnomer, just as liberalism is a misnomer for liberals. If we were back in the days of revolution, so-called conservatives today would be the liberals, and the liberals would be the Tories. The basis of conservatism is a desire for less government interference or less centralized authority or more individual freedom. And this is a pretty general description also of what libertarianism is. So you say this sounds like a libertarian issue. It sounds like it's an everybody issue to me. Sounds like an everybody issue. It sounds like if you give a fuck about your life and having freedom as an American, the SEC is something that everybody should be going, yo, what the fuck? Like that should be the number one trending topic. Yo, the SEC, you can't secure a Twitter account? Nah, yo, we gotta take you to court. I'm suing you. Should be a class action lawsuit across the fucking United States. But they said it's a libertarian issue? So what you're saying is libertarians are the only ones paying attention to real matters. I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. Because the conservatives, what are the conservatives concerned with? Gossip. Adult gossip. That's a wild statement to say. This seems more like a libertarian issue to me. D-Hawk said 200 viewers, only 46 thumbs up. Makes no sense. You're watching HJ for his insight and hard work, yet you are too lazy to press the thumbs up. I appreciate your content, HJ. Thank you, D-Hawk. Hit the like button. Whatever. Good friend of mine told me don't care about the numbers because the message gonna get out there regardless. Anyway, let's go to the next story because I could go on and on and on and on and on and on about how fucking dumb everybody is. Actually, let's bridge to this. I just want to play this really fast. Elon's Twitter works so weird. Look at this.
Almost 120,000 Bitcoin, which at the time was worth approximately $71 million. Today, the value of that Bitcoin has grown to over $4.5 billion. Almost 100.
DOJ is sitting on 120,000 Bitcoin. Much of this stuff was, I think, through seizure. But they're sitting on 120,000 Bitcoin, currently worth 5.5 billion. And they'll tell you, oh, don't buy Bitcoin, don't trust it. All right, wait till we watch that shit move. That's going to be the interesting part when they try to move it. All right, let's go. Let's take this off my screen. Let's go here. I want to see, black women are near and dear to my heart. So when I see them getting distracted, I get concerned. So let's listen to what's going on. They're mad at Aaron Rodgers for whatever reason. Let's see.
What really is annoying is that he's on a weekly mainstream media platform complaining about the mainstream media censoring him. Sir, you're not silenced. It's just that people think a lot of the things that come out of your mouth are stupid. What really...
All right. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's go to Aaron Rodgers and see what he says. Now, from where I've been sitting, Aaron Rodgers has been a real one. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's take a listen. And this is the type of adult gossip I like because we talk about real fucking issues. Aaron Rodgers seems to be talking about real shit. He was one of the people that said no to the vaccine publicly and got away with it. Let's listen.
Everybody who dealt with the draconian measures, and that's my last point. And then I just want to fucking move on. But it's like,
you see that draconian measures? I love the language he's using here.
People are always like, why are you still talking about COVID? Like, why don't you just move on? It's ridiculous. I'm like, well, let's see what happened. They locked everybody up forever. It was supposed to be a couple weeks, right? They locked everybody up. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed and never opened again. Many of dozens of people that I know in their 30s, who poured everything into these small businesses and restaurants, and bars and never opened again. So they lost everything. They're on their ass, right? The wealth gap got even bigger from the haves and have-nots. They lied to us over and over. They vilified early treatments. They censored legitimate doctors in the space, like Dr. Peter McCullough, like Dr. Corey, like Dr. Robert Malone, who allegedly was there in the beginning of the mRNA technology, and so many more people than that. The Alex Berensons of the world, the Weinsteins of the world, who were like writing about this, talking about this.
Not hard.
Brett Weinstein.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I was about to check you.
And had an
Sure.
informed opinion about this. I mean, they were arresting people who were surfing in California. They closed the beaches. When I don't know what percentage, but probably 60% or more of the country is vitamin D deficient. And vitamin D, does well against the common cold, as does vitamin C, as does zinc, as does the number of home remedies that we all have. But no, stay inside, wait for this vaccine, which is 100% safe and effective, which they told us. So my whole point is, listen, they lied to us many times over. They locked us up. They closed our businesses. They increased the mental health issues exponentially. The rates of suicide went way up, and they're just like, they vilified us. The draconian things that the ridiculous shut down. We lost billions of dollars. There's no NFL owners who are mad about this now that we look back and go, oh, well, maybe we could have stopped this with a little like early treatments, or like not given remdesivir and a ventilator to these patients. Maybe like treat it like the common cold, where you have symptoms and you start doing something about it. You treat it, and I have a problem with that because now people are just like, oh, just move on, just brush it under the rug. It's like, well, I have many apologies, not by that guy in ABC.
So, as you know, I don't watch sports, but I was tipped off by this story. We're going to come back to some of the things he said in a moment, but I just want to take you down the timeline of how this came across my desk. And one of my mutual followers, Carrie Champion, I have no idea why Carrie Champion follows me. It baffles my mind why Carrie Champion, who follows, how many people does she follow? She follows more people than I do. I mean, less people than I do. 1,800, right? And I'm like 2,000 or something like that. And she says, remind me, wasn't there another QB deemed too political? We haven't seen him on mainstream media in years. All he wanted to do was, never mind. And she continues here. She says, Aaron Rodgers isn't paid to go on ESPN every week to get his conspiracy opinions, ? It's clear that politics and such aren't allowed, correct? He then continues to trash bosses at ESPN while on ESPN. If that ain't audacity and privilege, I don't know what is. It's just, again, my heart goes out to black women and the fact that they've been captured by the left. I have to speak on it. Carrie Champion, Jamel Hill. I really need y'all to get y'all shit together. Because whose side do you want? This side that wants to destroy businesses? You're so concerned with black people. You know what black business did during the COVID? It went down. Went out of business and shut down. Do you care that there's documentaries about vaccines that have allegedly caused autism in black boys? 300% more likely to catch autism in black boys. Care about black people? Do you talk about that? So I got a question. Are you just dumb or are you paid to be dumb? I want to like you. I want to support you. Now, you're bringing up basically Colin Kaepernick. Okay? First of all, Colin Kaepernick doesn't have anything intelligent to say. He's never had anything intelligent to say. He's never said anything radical. All he did was take a knee. The reason why he's not in the league is not because the league doesn't want him. It's because he turned down his contract. He could have been playing in the NFL if he would have took the contract, but he decided not to re-sign with the 49ers. And nobody wants him. He wasn't a good quarterback when he took the knee. He got benched. He only took the knee because he got benched. He was a trash quarterback. He was not a good quarterback. But that doesn't matter. What matters is whose narrative do you follow? Now, you question and you say, well, how is Aaron Rodgers able to say this on ESPN? Well, how is Hotep Jesus able to get on Fox News? The answer is very simple. The people in the back office can only do but so much. Okay? The people in the back office can only do but so much. At some point, it comes down to the host, and the host say, look, it's my show. I'm going to do what I want. So in my case, Greg Gutfeld made the call and said, no, I'm going to have Hotep Jesus on my show, regardless of what Fox News says. And to him, I say, thank you. The same thing with these guys. If ESPN said, no, we don't want to talk about this stuff, the hosts are going to go, well, who's going to run this show without us? You need this show. Our show is popping. You can't fill the spot. You'll lose viewers. And legacy TV is continually losing viewers. It's going down a hole. It's going in the trash. My question is, what's wrong with conspiracy opinions? What's wrong with questioning the government? They talk about white supremacy this, white supremacy that, and the government did this to black people. And so whose side are you on? You're on the side that wants to force vaccinations on people? That lock down businesses? This is the side you're on? The side that is replacing black people with illegal immigrants? Just the other day, I saw they had to shut down a school because they want to put immigrants in the school gyms. So the kids can't even go to school because the immigrants are a higher priority than teaching our children. Technically, indoctrinating children. So in some ways, it's definitely a blessing. But what's wrong with conspiracy opinions? Whose side are you on, Carrie? Whose side are you on, Jamil? Do you really honestly believe in Dr. Fauci? Do you honestly believe the medical industry? After Tuskegee experiment? After Dr. Stanley Plotkin's deposition? Admitting to harming and murdering over 1 million black babies on the African continent? Is this the establishment you trust? The establishment who has fed us meds and exasperated the mental health crisis in America? This is who you trust? You're an agent of the system. You are Agent Smith. You know how Agent Smith can just warp it into anybody's body? It's like Agent Smith has warped into Carrie Champion and Jamel Hill's brain. And now they are agents. What are you mad at? I don't get what they're mad at. You're mad because ESPN will talk to Aaron Rodgers, but not Colin Kaepernick? Colin Kaepernick doesn't say anything interesting. Colin Kaepernick doesn't have 2 brain cells. He's a puppet for his wife. He was grifting. You've never seen a clip of Colin Kaepernick go viral outside of the knee. You've never seen it. He's never said anything intelligent. He's never said anything interesting. He's a dumb jock. Aaron Rodgers happens to be an intelligent human being with more than 2 brain cells that are communicating with each other. So what are you really mad at? And this ain't about politics. This is about health. This is about economics. Politics happens to be a part of it. But when you're talking about shutting down people's livelihood and forcing vaccinations on them, this is a health crisis. This is an economic crisis. This goes beyond your little left versus right bullshit. Are you on ESPN's side? Because you said he continues to trash ESPN while on ESPN. So whose side are you on? You on ESPN's side now? Who pays you, Carrie? Who pays Carrie? CNN? Oh, fuck. See? Oh, my God. That's why we can't get ahead. That's why we can't get ahead. Because this is who the white liberal props up. If the right is the reactionary movement, then the left is the action movement. And they have activated Carrie Champion and Jamel Hill. Go get them, girls. Black women continue to be the German shepherd for the action movement. It's my new term for the left. I'm not using these left versus right terms. I'm slowly trying to phase these out. But the action movement, that's what I'm calling them. And the right, I'm calling them the reactionary movement because they only move when the left moves. So the action movement controls Carrie Champion. And that's sad to see. This is a beautiful woman right here. It's a beautiful, beautiful woman. You know, very attractive. Seems to be somewhat smart. Yet, what do we get? Get bullshit. Bullshit opinions. You don't really give a fuck about black people. You are you're a pawn. You're a pawn for the left. And I'd love to say it to her face, but I know these people. I know these people. They won't have a conversation with me. They won't have a conversation with me. You know, here's another individual that fucking now is annoying to me. He's just absolutely annoying. We're going to go to phone lines in a little bit. Text Hotep your name at 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. I'm going to go to this next clip because it has much to do with what we just talked about. It's from the Joe Rogan Experience. I've been holding on to this for a while. Now it seems like a great time to play this clip. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. It's a 4-minute clip. Let's go ahead and go to the tape.
And so if we take a little walk through history, you'll see time and time again how this has happened. So I'm going to jump way back first. Okay. There was a small little company that reached out to the Third Reich and said, hey, we need 150 participants for our clinical trial. The Nazi regime shipped 150 healthy Jewish women to this pharmaceutical company to test its products. Literally, within 6 months, there's letters back to the Third Reich from this pharmaceutical company saying, thank you so much for your cooperation. The women arrived in great health and working order. Unfortunately, none of them made it through the initial phases of our trial. They killed 150 women. We kindly request that you send us another 150 women. That little company became Bayer, which is now a mega pharmaceutical company. And I say that because it would have changed by now. That was forever ago, right? The world's a different place. We would never allow that today. Jump forward post-World War II. I talked about this on RFK's podcast. Eisenhower's speech, his famous speech about the military-industrial complex. What a lot of people don't realize is there was a second half to that speech where Eisenhower warned the American people about the medical industrial complex. He warned that if we allow private industry to control, monopolize, and profiteer off of health and healthcare, that they will silo innovation, stifle innovation, and capitalize and monetize innovation. I would argue that's 100% what we've seen, and it's continuing. And the reason I want to walk the public through this is because to understand what's going on, you've got to see the history of how it's happened. Now you jump forward to the 80s. Okay? Time and time again, when Big Pharma has had an opportunity to choose left or right, over and over again, they have chose profits over patient outcomes. So 1980s, Bayer launches a hemophilia drug. They inadvertently contaminate thousands of specimens with HIV. They know that they've contaminated specimens with HIV, this drug with HIV virus. What do? They have a decision: destroy all of it or ship it to the public anyway. They shipped it into third world countries, Africa and Asian markets, and infected 20,000 people with the HIV virus.
What?
This is the 80s when it was a death sentence.
Look at this from this article. A division of the pharmaceutical company Bayer sold millions of dollars of blood clotting medicine for hemophiliacs, medicine that carried a high risk of transmitting AIDS to Asia and Latin America in the mid-1980s while selling a new, safer product in the West, according to documents obtained by the New York Times. Holy shit.
So jump forward, they infect all these people with HIV. Okay, in the 80s, compounding pharmacies and specialty pharmacies and generic manufacturers attempted to create HIV treatment options that were affordable for third world countries. Because at the time, it was like $14,000 a month for an HIV treatment to keep you alive. Nobody could afford that in those countries. So what happens? Does Big Pharma, in a market they can't sell, in a market they can't touch, in a market where they inadvertently infected, or I would say almost knowingly infected 20,000 people with HIV, they then lobby with the U.S. government, file and sue the shit out of all of these companies that were attempting to make cost-effective generics. It caught it up in litigation for 3 years before finally they bent to the will of the American people and the feedback of the public. There was outrage over this. And finally, after 3 years of litigation, Big Pharma said, basically, screw it. Go ahead and give them the HIV, let them make these HIV meds in these countries that aren't buying our product anyway. I just say all this so you know the people we're dealing with. And so if
This is Brigham Bueller from Joe Rogan episode number 2079. Okay? So they want to talk all this shit about Joe Rogan. Meanwhile, this is the type of information we get from the Joe Rogan Experience. I wonder what Carrie Champion would say about this. I wonder what Jamel Hill would say about this. Is this conspiracy theory? Let's go to an example of the woke right, a.k.a. the reactionary movement, and you tell me if this is identity politics. Today, I am directing Florida's colleges and universities to make it easier for Jewish students to transfer to a Florida higher education institution. While leaders of elite universities enable anti-Semitism, we will protect Jewish students and welcome them to Florida. If this said black students, how do you think the right would respond? How do you think the reactionary movement would respond? Let's see. I'll just put out some fake news. I've been loving doing fake news. I'll say a state governor has decided to make it easier for black students to transfer to higher education institutions in their state. While leaders of elite universities enable racism, the governor will protect black students and welcome them. Let's put out some fake news. We'll revisit this just to see the reply so I can show you the hypocrisy. Some people will catch this. State governor has decided to make it easier for black students to transfer to higher education institutions in their state. While leaders of elite universities enable racism, the governor will protect black students and welcome them. Let's post that. Some people will catch it. Let's see if we can catch any bait here. But this is identity politics. This is what we call the woke right. This sounds like affirmative action. Yeah, Jay London. Sounds like affirmative action. It sounds like wokeism. It sounds like DEI. I could have used ChatGPT. Yeah, it would have taken me longer though. It would have taken me longer to write the prompt than it would have to edit that. That's one thing when you use AI, you really have to see about time, because sometimes it's longer to have the AI do it. Then the AI has spit out some shit that you didn't want, and it was like, no, don't do that. Now you're like going back trying to fix the prompt when you could just do it yourself. Don't be so reliant on AI. Ron would have been canceled. You're right. He would have been canceled. He would have been canceled. Hold on. We got just a little bit more here, and we're going to go to phone lines. Text Hotep your name at 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. Now, I try to give this guy a break. You know, I've heard, Minister Jap calls him Moist Watkins. He seems to be an incel, not an incel, a simp. And I tried to, I haven't kept up with Boyce Watkins. Now, last week after the whole Cat Williams thing, Cat Williams talked about all the black men wearing dresses. And then Dr. Boyce Watkins, he responds and goes, can you name, 20 white actors? Maybe if we can find it. Can you name 20 white? Here we go. This is the tweet right here. Let's go to the tweet. So this is what he says on Jan 5th. Question, can you name 20 A-list white male actors who have appeared in Hollywood movies dressed as women in the last decade? Right? And then they go on. Now, to be fair, there's not in the last decade, but they show, or somebody posts, all of these white actors, Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Christian Bale. And then he responds, I don't know half these people. And I responded, you got to take the L on this one. Johnny Depp, Keanu Reeves, they got them all. Kurt Russell, Hollywood gets them all, okay? So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is not a good look for your character. Like you showing me you lack character, Boyce Watkins. Then I saw this tweet today, 6:20 a.m. Who wakes up at 6:20 a.m. and thinks about Taylor Swift? This is just weird to me. If Taylor Swift were black, she wouldn't even have a record deal. Most black women can't get radio play without twerking. If Taylor Swift, bro. So now I'm starting to see what Minister Jap is talking about here, where he's a simp. And this stuff does not bode well for race relations. I hate hypotheticals. We use them sometimes, but this right here is a very terrible hypothetical. If Taylor Swift were black, Taylor Swift isn't black. Stop trying to turn Taylor Swift black. Okay? There are a lot of black women with record deals right now that don't twerk. It's the truth. Now, I ain't saying they're popular, but they got record deals. There's a lot of people on, like, for example, let's just go to a record company, right? Let's go to 300. Let's go to 300 Records, right? This is a record company. 300 Entertainment. Let's go look at their roster, right? You're going to look at their roster, and you'll probably see a bunch of artists you've never heard of. Let's go to artists, right? Here we go. So they got A.R. the Mermaid. Never heard of her. Looks like a booty twerker. Black Iana. Never heard of her. Probably a twerker. Breezelyn. Who is this? Carlay. Kayla Nicole. Kenya Vaughn. Now this looks like a lesbian. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Signed to a record label. All right. Now 300 is a management company, but I'm sure these people have record deals if you're dealing with 300. Mary J. Blige. Maria Becerra. Pink Panthers. Right? This is just one management company, the Girl Code. So the concept that, you need twerking to make it is not exactly true. It's not true at all, in fact. And as somebody in the record industry, you know what you need to make it in the industry? Two things you need to make it in the recording industry. Two things you need to make. Number one, you need to be able to pack a venue. That's number one. If you can pack a venue, you can make money in the industry and they will buy you, which means you need to have a following. which means you need to be making money from music. So if you are making money from music, they will sign you no matter what the fuck you're doing. They signed Young M.A. She's a lesbian, but they signed Young M.A. The other thing you need a bop. You need a bop. You need a record. You need a hit. And that's very hard to do. It's not an easy thing to do is come up with a hit. But you need a hit. You look at, people like Meg Thee Stallion. You can say what you said, but she hasn't had a huge success selling records. She's been completely overestimated when it came to selling records. Her records aren't selling. Okay? So, this whole, and if you're going to make this comparison, leave Taylor Swift out of it. I don't even like Taylor Swift. You got me defending Taylor Swift. Leave Taylor Swift out of it. You know what I'm saying? And just say what you want to say. Just say, I want more black women on radio without twerking. Just say that. Right? If you want to be a simp to black women. Just say that. He says, haven't you posted this already? Slow day, huh? Woke up at 6:20 a.m. So I'm writing Boyce Watkins off. He doesn't even get a third strike from me. You may never hear about him on this show because he's lost all credibility with me because he said that dumb shit. This is the dumb shit that people got to listen to. This is our influencers. Right? Left, right, white, black, they're all shit. They're all shit. They're all unintellectual fucking grifters. What the hell is this, man? Are you spamming me, man? Who is this? Block this motherfucker. I hate when people spam my mentions. Let's go to the phone lines. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. We'll be right back after this short, brief commercial break.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there, you understand? You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
So I'm seeing some people in the chat responding. Somebody said name 3. I couldn't name 3 new artists right now, regardless. I'm listening to like 90s rap. Somebody said Tierra Whack. I'm not familiar with her. I've heard her name before. She seems to be fairly popular. But we got homeboy in the chat says Tierra Whack disproves this immediately. I mean, the recording industry is so big, you can't just say, you got to twerk to get a record deal. The industry's too big to say that. Like, they sign artists every single day. Like, it's not hard to get a record deal. Now, if you're saying you got a record deal with $1 million budget or a $10 million budget, okay, these are specificities that not everybody falls under. Some categories not everybody falls under. SZA, I think SZA maybe, didn't she go out and get a BBL? I think SZA's definitely fallen victim to this. SZA went and got one. Carlos said he had Boyce Watkins blocked for about 2 years. I wish somebody would have let me know. I wish somebody would have let me know. Cause well, y'all did let me know. I just never really looked into it, honestly, because I heard all of the bad things about him, and I'm just like, well, I haven't seen anything, so I give him the benefit of the doubt. Now he's just like, I can't deal with that type of fucking cuckery. Oh, if Taylor Swift was black, she wouldn't get a record deal. If Taylor Swift was black, she would definitely get a record deal. You hear me? We're going to get Rudy checking in here. Yeah, SZA was hot before she started shaking ass. She definitely had a movement before she started shaking ass. Who's the other girl? Janelle Monáe. She came out the gate hot.
Call from.
She was fully
Rudy the
clothed.
vet.
And then now she's taking her clothes off. Rudy, what's up, man? What you got for us today?
What's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Good.
I'm just curious. Is this the same SEC that had an office right next to Bernie Madoff's?
Yep. That's the one.
Oh, you mean that competent organization, right? That competent government organization.
Right.
Didn't know how to two-step verify their Twitter account.
Right.
And we pay for that, dude.
And then we pay for that shit. Exactly.
We pay for that, bro. We pay for that. That's sad, ain't it?
Sad. Real sad.
Real sad. And like you said, I don't listen to your podcast. I listen to Tripoli. And every now and then I'll mess with Luke Rudkowski. Otherwise, I'm back to listening to music and books online, man. I don't listen. You know what I'm saying? So my talking heads are talking about it. I don't know about anybody else's talking heads. But with the heads I listen to that talk on the internet, they're talking about it. So
are they right wing?
Once again, I don't know.
Are they Republican? Who are they? Who are they? Name some names. Give me two.
Sam Tripoli, Hotep Jesus, and Luke Rudkowski.
That's cheating.
We are changed. So I don't know. Like, I don't listen to anybody else, man. Like I said, I go through those 3 podcasts. And Sam only goes twice a week. I do you daily. Pause. And then Luke. And we are changed when he finally opened up a little 2-hour podcast. He got Clint Russell up there from the Liberty Lockdown, which I fought with Clint when he's on Luke's, but he's also that Clint Russell dude does the Tower Gang, and they're undercover racists, man. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? They that they had that little controversy about saying the N-word and all that. It's like, dude, come on, man. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You want to say it out of malice, like I talked about before. When I was locked up, I could walk around and sing the lyrics to anything. And no brothers in the joint would give me any shit about it because they knew I wasn't saying it out of malice. Now, them rednecks from the mountains, they couldn't say it because they couldn't tell whether it was out of malice. You know what I'm saying? Even singing the song. So, that's my only issue with Clint. But, when he's up there with Luke, man, they talk about in-depth shit, but that's about it. So my talking heads, they're talking about it. I don't know about anybody else, but this just proves once again that the Hotep's been told you, man. The Hotep's been told you.
Big facts.
But I love it when I say something slick enough to get a Don DeMarco, man. It makes me feel real good inside. Hey, look, so Sammy T's coming to the Grifties.
It's not 100% confirmed, but he just needs to work out some logistical things, and then he's going to be there.
Yo, man. I hope Sammy T comes, dude. They're my 2 favorite podcasters in the same room, man. Be like fucking Christmas, dude.
Yeah, that's going to be dope. I haven't worked with Sam in a long time, so it'll be dope.
Yeah, man, that day that you and him were interviewing, man, I was going ape shit in the chat, man. The hammer of the gods was definitely dropped that day, dude. The hammer of the gods was definitely dropped that day. But that's about it, brother. Hey, man, if you remember, man, when you're done up here today, could you DM me that hotel information, man? Because I ain't been situated to write it down when you.
Sonesta Suites.
Sonesta Suites, Morris Plains, New Jersey, correct?
Yep.
All right, thank you, brother.
Yep.
I'm going to get my room. I'm bringing some fire, and we're going to have a good time at the Grifties. And if you ain't there, man, you're square, man, because the Grifties is going to be lit.
Big facts.
The Grifties is going to be lit. Hey, and Nas is down there in Fayetteville, man. If you want to go to the Grifties, man, you want to catch a ride up, bro. I'm about an hour and a half north of you, man. we could posse up, Nas. If you're hearing this, just hit me up. But anyway, Hotep and Bill to everybody. And remember, the SEC had offices right next to Bernie Madoff while he was ripping everybody off. So that's how competent that government organization is.
Facts.
So big facts, brother. I'm out, man. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Used to be able to say Janelle Monáe. Yeah, she went and sold her soul to the devil. We got a couple of callers in here. Let's talk to AK. See what AK talking about. I didn't catch any bait. It's probably too soon. Probably too soon to catch him with this bait. Somebody here, they said, nice bait. You know what I'm saying? Gonna have to hide that reply because they messing with my grift. We caught one fish. Well, yeah. If you can sign them all up for student loans, they get to pay for their own brainwashing with interest. Right? A little bit of that was a little fish. That wasn't a big one. Pause. Might try this 6 months from now. Let's see what happens. See if we catch any fish.
Call from
AK.
AK, what's up, man?
What up, AJ?
What's good with him?
Yo, man, this SEC shit is so fucking wild, man. Like, you know, I like to shit post a lot on Twitter, and I drive recently like 12 to 14 hours a day, so I don't get as much time to get out there and shit post. But when I found out about the SEC, it was actually through you, following your timeline, and I was like, this is fucking insane. I used to have my financial securities license, right? And like what people don't understand is like this is the main body that is supposed to enforce all securities in the United States, right? Like, they're the ones that are supposed to be, quote unquote, protecting the people. And this fuck up of not doing just the basic security sent the markets fucking crazy, man.
Yep.
Like it would be like if the FBI like accidentally fucking said we caught fucking this criminal and then was like, oh, we got hacked. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, this should be the front page of every single news article. Like, every single one. And Gary Gensler should be fired immediately. There's like no fucking question. That's his incompetence. Shit has to fucking start at the top and work its way back, man. It's just...
Because news affects the markets, and if you put out news through your channel, you affect the markets. And if you can't secure the news coming out of your own channels, you got to be fired.
Absolutely. And let's like, again, you know, you said earlier you don't like doing hypotheticals, but I think this actually is a good purpose. You're telling me that if let's say Coinbase sent out a tweet saying that they had just like merged with fucking Binance and then they got hacked and it sent the markets going crazy, you're telling me the SEC wouldn't investigate? Come on, man.
The SEC would have been all over your ass.
Hell yeah, man. They would have halted everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just such a crazy standard. But I don't know, man. I try and think, like, why is the media so silent on it, man? Like, do you think it's because people don't care, or like, what's the bigger angle, man? Like, why is the media so quiet about it?
It's a combination of all of that shit. You know, the fact that it's intellectual content. Intellectual content doesn't get the clicks. The media people have lunch with these people, especially the financial entities like Bloomberg, etc., Yahoo Finance. All these people are all the same group of people, so they're running cover for each other. But at the end of the day, you know, the easiest response is it's not going to get clicks.
Yeah, that's probably like Occam's razor, man. That's like the most basic aspect of it. That's crazy. You know, the other thing that drives me insane, you know, I'm nowhere near the level that I want to be at. Every day I'm trying to learn more and more. Like, I have a bunch of different crypto websites and people I follow to get information on, obviously Hotep Jesus being primarily one of them. If you're not already on Hotep Locals, go and do that so you can stay up to date on CBDC and everything in regards to the crypto world. But the thing that drives me insane is when you have these feds really that are actually pushing people away from having a independent market, a crypto exchange, and pushing more towards a CBDC, is when they use that line about anti-money laundering and terrorist funding. Like it's such a bad take if you just take 1 second and understand that if you're, let's say you work for FBI, right, and you're in cyber crimes, you love the idea of being able to go and see how accounts and money, Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies are moving from wallet to wallet, because that's literally what their job is. Like if you're investigating financial crimes, you're trying to piece together information. All you do is create this huge database of here's all these people that we've targeted that we think are doing some nefarious things, because eventually you're going to have to transfer that money into some type of fiat currency or something. So that's actually like a wet dream pause of one of these financial crimes investigators. Like that's actually the truth. It's easier to track how money moves if you actually have a public ledger, man. Yeah. And it's crazy when they continue to push that lie, because it's meant to scare people away from having, independent, where it's person to person, we can exchange for our own goods and services without needing the government, so they can push the CBDC, man. And it just drives me insane, because it's a public ledger, man. And literally there's investigators that are tracking this shit that actually gives them a point to start on, and they can literally watch every fucking transaction, which makes it easier to bust them, which is why the government has so much fucking Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that they've seized. Like, think about, how do you think they seize those? They can't just hack in and steal the keys. They actually have to bust the person and then get them to give up the keys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to give them access to the, that's how they get the funds, man.
Exactly.
So it
just shows that they're just, scammers and liars.
Yes. All because they're pushing the population to want to say, well, CBDC is going to stop all of that. Like, right. that's the play, man. And people just need, if you don't know shit about crypto, don't fall for that fucking line. But I know that people that watch Hotep understand, like, that's not what this shit is about. It's just, that's a bunch of false lies and fake narratives being pushed, man.
Yep. That's what it comes down to.
Yep. Well, hey, man, that's about all I got. Great show. And again, make sure you guys visit griftys.com. Make sure to make your nominations. You got to throw up your name of your favorite grifter. If you, think that I'm a good grifter, you can nominate me. But yeah, man, make sure to go to griftys.com and either submit your own nomination or vote on someone that's already nominated.
Appreciate
that's about
you.
it. Hotep and Bill, man.
Hotep and Bill. Let's get Tari in here. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets for the Grifties. Come out, hang out with some real ones. And man, I'm telling you right now, the Grifties are going to be edited down. Like, if you're not at the live show, you are not going to know. Because I'm going to watch the whole final edit, and I'm going to be like, edit that, take that out, take that out, take that out, and take that out. Because the live experience must be exclusive. And some of the shit we're going to say there stays there. Some of the shit we say at the Grifties is going to stay at the Grifties. And I'm going to talk shit about a lot of motherfuckers, a lot of things, a lot of ideas. So if you're not there and you watch the replay, just know you missed something. Okay? You had to be there. Correct, Steph. You had to be there. Let's get Tari on the line next. Tari, call in. And then we're going to go to Jonah. Then I'm going to get out of here and handle some BI business. He said this is the Dom Lucre way of tweeting now. Yeah, that is kind of, I didn't think about that. It is kind of like a Dom Lucre tactic that I just tried.
Call from
Sorry.
Ty, what's up, man?
What up?
What's good with him?
Shit. I'm not gonna lie. I missed this one.
Missed what?
I missed this one. The SEC shit.
Because you
wouldn't.
following grifters. All your favorite accounts
Oh, no,
are grifters.
I wasn't. I wasn't paying no attention to nothing for real. You know.
Okay.
I've been doing more work.
Because I know
like,
you a Daily Wire fan and you a Steven Crowder fan.
Well,
those
not
your
fan.
favorite. Those your top three right there.
No, I keep up with them. Actually, I haven't been keeping up with them at all recently. Like,
You gave Daily Wire some money.
With a couple.
How much money you gave Daily Wire?
I bought the little children's book, but that was for the meme. The Matt Walsh children's book. Well, actually, no. I had a free Amazon gift card. I had like a $50 Amazon gift card somebody gave me, and I used that to get Matt Walsh's book. So I
You gave Matt Walsh some money. How much more money you give Daily Wire?
Well,
you bought their content subscription?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I don't think I've really given them no money. No, I don't even think I gave him like a super chat or nothing. I just watched the content for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That was during COVID and shit for the info. But I actually watched the Blaze more than anything. Like I fuck with the real red right, not the controlled opposition. So
and the Blaze isn't controlled opposition?
To a couple of them. The only reason I listen to some of them is just because I think some of their takes is funny. Like, especially when I hear a wild take.
Is the Blaze control opposition or not?
The Blaze? Probably.
Okay.
Not all of them, though. I think they got a lot more of the wild cards out there, you know. Because they got a lot of affiliates that come on and do work with them and shit, but they not really, like, Blaze employees and shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of libertarians over there. It's a lot more libertarians over there than there are with the Daily Wire.
I don't know.
Like that,
I'm not familiar. That's why I'm asking you because I really don't know.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they got a whole they got a couple people with their whole thing is like, you know, libertarianism, and it's just I think one of the dudes, his whole show is called like On Liberty, something like that. But yeah, that's why I gravitated towards them because they got a lot more libertarian people over there. Eric Jalad does a lot of stuff with them. That's actually part of where I became aware of them. But besides that, I watch a lot of crypto people. Like I watch Randy, you know, that Miss Teen Crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been missing some of the shows and shit though, because I've been focusing on work, dealing with my own business shit, you know, emotional ass businessmen and whatnot. So I missed all of this shit. Nobody brought it up. Nobody was talking about it in you know, in the office or nothing.
Yeah.
But I did see, I sent you the one thing. I saw something interesting. You know how we be talking about, you know, these grifters out here, and these advertisers trying to make, you know, stuff blow up off the race grift. I happened to see an ad for like some new Pixar movie, and people were saying they were racist in the comments or whatever. But this was like, I noticed that I clicked on one of the profiles. And I saw like advertising marketer, and I didn't see any actual racist comments, you know, in relation to any of it. So I finally saw, like, I knew it was happening, but you know how you kind of know intuitively what's going on. You don't bother to go do a bunch of extra research. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. You just kind of know what you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of the first times I really I had confirmation. Oh, this is actually like people have it on their profile, advertising and marketing while they're doing this stuff. And I just thought it was funny. Like, yeah, it is. It's kind of hard to. I think it's kind of hard for a lot of people to see through all this stuff with all this shit out there. You gotta really be attentive to know what's real and what's fake.
Absolutely.
So whether you're paying attention to the grifters or not, you know, keep your head on the swivel. Make sure you just do a little bit of extra research whenever you see anything. Just make sure you dig into it a little bit.
Absolutely,
that's all I want.
Hey, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man.
Hotep Bill. Shout out to Tari. Tari came to HotepCon. Let's get Jonah in here. Talk to Jonah. So Fresh Mike has officially announced that Sam Tripoli is confirmed for the Grifties. Damn. It's a powerhouse set, man. It's a powerhouse set. Show gonna be lit, man. Show gonna be crazy. I don't even know what to expect. That's how I know it's gonna be lit. Me and Sam Tripoli in the same building. That's a lot of conspiracy theories. It's a lot of conspiracy theory comedy right there.
Call from
Jonah, what up, man?
Nada.
What you got for us? You sound low. You sound low. You sound low.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is this headset working or no?
Just sound low. Got one. Easier. Protect them. Question mark. Got one. Jonah. Jonah. I'll let Jonah call back. I don't know what Whitlock said to piss off Stephen A. Smith. To be honest, I really don't care. If I can't find out, what he said in a few scrolls, or if somebody doesn't send it to me, then. Yeah, Carlos. Yeah. Our black queens still defend COVID and support BLM in the year 2024. Exactly. Imagine that. What else is going on here? Morgan Ariel. She's popping up in my For You tab. That's what I get for going to her account. Now she's popping up in my For You tab. Oh, it's the Bitcoin ETF live.
Call from
Jonah. I don't even know why people care.
Is this better?
Huh?
Is this better?
No, but I can hear you now.
Yeah. So I don't know why everyone's surprised about this SAC thing. Like, it's government release.
Oh, it's just too hard to listen to you, bro. It sounds like you underwater. It sounds like you got the microphone underneath your ass. Take the microphone out. Just speak into the thing how you normally do.
Cell phone.
What?
This is your cell phone.
Yeah, I can't hear you, bro. You sound muffled.
Okay.
Wait, what happened? Pat McAfee pulled the "we have freedom of speech but not freedom of consequences" line when talking about why Aaron Rodgers won't be a part of ESPN's show anymore. Wow. So we were just talking about how they talked about, he's allowed on ESPN. And then, like I told you, I said it's up to the host. And looks like the host got shook. Host got shook and caved. We're going to play that in a second. Jonah, can you fix your mic?
Can you hear me now or no?
You just sound muffled, bro. What do you know? How do you normally call in?
Let me try the other device.
Let's go to the clip.
Is done. Yeah. Next season. There's going to be a lot of people that are happy with that, myself included, to be honest. With the way it ended, it got real loud. And real loud. I'm happy that is not going to be my mentions going forward, which is great news. We always, and this is legit, and I think I'm never going to act like people are out to get people. Sure. But throughout my life, there's been a lot of people that have definitely wanted to see me not.
Call from
Jonah.
Yo.
Yeah.
That's much better. What you got?
Nah, this SAC thing, I mean, it's all government employees. They're retarded, right? So they do that so that multiple employees can have it. I mean, like, obviously it's a retarded idea just to do it, but they're going to do it anyways, right? But now here's the real question. Did anyone make some bank off of this? Because was it an operation?
Some people did.
So, yeah, it may just be an operation too, right? That's what I know it's
absolutely a possibility.
Now, I got to disagree with you about the Hunter Biden story. It is a big story, but if you're retarded and listen to mainstream media, it's not. You know why it's a big story? Now, let's go back and think. If Joe Biden made, like, they're saying 60 million or something like that. They say they have like 200 suspicious activity reports. So was Obama running the operation, or is he just retarded?
I don't know.
Because there's only two ways you look at this, right? Either Obama was running it, so he was actually the one selling out the country while president, and now Joe is too, which is obviously the fact. Or he's retarded, and Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were flying
Why
around
is this
the world.
important? Tell me that. You said it is important. Tell me why it's important.
Because it's important that people actually figure out, and this is why he's doing this thing today. Is my guess is that sooner or later they're going to have to admit that Obama knew more than they ever let on, and that's when they want you. Because they sell you, they're selling secrets out to the foreign nations, and that's when people finally realize
Where's the proof that they were selling secrets to foreign nations?
Where?
Yeah.
Why did the foreign nations give money?
No. Show me the proof.
That's circumstantial evidence. I mean,
exactly.
Dude,
this is what the Republicans tried to pull in Congress, and they sliced right through that shit. Even the media was able to slice through that shit. Now I believe they was probably selling secrets, but you got to be able to prove the shit.
That's all Mockingbird. Yeah, where's the proof? Is that there's
what I'm saying is I watched the clip where the Republicans walked into a hearing, came out, the media questioned them, and live in front of my face, they could not rebuttal the media's rebuttals. And I'm like, oh, y'all ain't got your shit together.
That's Mockingbird, because they're never going to talk about the fact that in the emails there's evidence that Hunter Biden snuck Vadim, whatever, the head of Burisma, into the USA because he said in a coffee meeting. They're never going to talk about the fact that Hunter Biden is going out of his way with the other members of Joe's staff to ensure that whatever, I don't know his name, Chinese name, whatever, from CEFC got visa approved by Joe Biden's family.
Mm-hmm.
So this is stuff that's in the emails that is there if people want to go through them. Like literally talking about smuggling the Ukrainian who's wanted to cross the Mexican border.
Yeah.
So there's more enough stuff in there that's why I'm saying it's Mockingbird, because what they're gonna do is they're gonna run all this shit so that they get you tired of hearing Hunter Biden's name. Then they're going to give you a bunch of nothings, and then when it finally comes out that Obama's getting on the back end with the Bidens, then they're going to be like, oh, everyone in the normal population, like Joe Sixpack or whatever, they're all going to be like, oh, this is all garbage. We've already heard all this before. They want to inundate you with bullshit. So when the actual real news comes out, that's another version of limited hangout, right? They're inundating you with all the bullshit. So when the real stuff comes out, it's just like, okay, cool. Like no one wants to listen because they've heard all the lies before. So that's why, because there's no other reason for him to show up and do this big whole thing, right? That's where he shows up, and that's all a distraction to keep you away, and they're inundating you with all his bullshit, right? Man, for 4 years, why have people been talking about the fact that all the porn on there? Who cares? There's literally treason on there.
Yeah.
But again, too, this goes with everything that you're saying, right? I
want the proof.
No, but I'm saying it goes with what you're saying, where they want the small brain shit, not the big brain shit that's right on the same hard drive.
Right.
But I'm gonna actually today, if I remain healthy enough after I'm done work, I'm actually gonna post about Ecuador, because you brought that up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, right after the phone, I'm gonna post about the Ecuador banking.
Yeah.
And not the stuff going on right now, but the Ecuador banking, the CIA banks from the 90s, and how they were actually the reason that Julian Assange got kicked out of Ecuador. So it's a very interesting circumstantial evidence that but I'll do that on the locals for y'all.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. But again, too, other than that, man, the SEC, here's the thing about them too, right? During COVID, the one thing that I would use for people is I'd be like, listen, the SEC says mRNA is the gene therapy. So if the SEC says it on the filing, why are the FDA not saying it? Because the SEC has to do it, because if they lie about that shit, right? They don't get the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they admit that it's all DNA gene therapy, when they do their filing, but then they tell you it's safe and effective. So that's another thing that people need to realize. And when you see a lot of these new innovations or whatever, always check the SEC filings, because those they can't lie on, or otherwise they don't get the bank. Yeah. Other than that, Hotep and build, but yeah, no, that Hunter Biden's a big story, but no one in the media is going to cover it because they're all in on it.
Yeah, basically. I appreciate you, yo.
Yeah, later.
Hold on a second. We got big Grifty news coming in. Pretty sure he's going to tell us that Sam Tripoli has been confirmed. I can't believe these people are still wearing masks. What the fuck, yo? Let's go back.
Do good because I'm an uber confident human being, loud. And if I think you're trying to hold me or my guys back, like, I'm an asshole too. Certainly have zero. Don't need you. Hey, what are you? Nothing. Sweet. See ya. Keep it moving. So there was some.
Call from
Fresh Mike.
Mike, what up, yo?
Yo, happy afternoon, Hotep Nation. Happy afternoon, sir. How's everybody feeling? You good?
Life is good.
Man, I got big Grifty news. This one right here, this one is just for Rudy. Well, it's for the whole nation, but really with, Rudy in mind. Yeah. 100% confirmed, and he's going to want to come a day early. I'll let you know why. 100% confirmed top 20 podcast on iTunes. And the creator and founder of Tinfoil Hat Podcast, Sam Tripoli, will be presenting live at the Grifties.
It's up. It's all the way up. Y'all heard it.
Yes, sir. And Friday night, the night before, he's going to be doing a stand-up show there at the Dojo of Comedy before us. He's actually doing 2 shows. Okay. But, who knows if we turn that into a Hotep hangout? I don't know. We might have been looking. Yeah. Sam is 100% down for that. And I know if Rudy wants to see him live because he's a fan, he comes in on Friday. He's going to be able to see Sam live do stand-up. Boom.
Sweet.
So, and from what I hear, his openers are going to be some hitters too. So, like hitters, but, I'm going to let him promote that because he's just now locking him in. But, just think about some of the hottest podcast comedians in the New York City area, names, people you see on TV on a reg, that kind of thing legitimately. That's who he's trying to get a fire lineup for us. So, because he's hoping we show up and show him the love too. And,
absolutely.
So Friday night, Sam Tripoli, stand-up comedy. Saturday night, the most epic and awesome award show ever in the history of any award show ever, the Grifties. Boom. I am day jobbing it. I love y'all. Hotep and Build. Hotep is for the children. I'll talk to you soon. If you need anything, I'm always available. Thank you, guys. Thank everyone so much. God bless.
Salute.
Come on.
Shout out to Mike. Fantastic work from Mike. Making a dream come true. Locked in Sam Tripoli. Let's go back to the tape. Grifties.com. Go get your tickets.
Some people, especially when, I negotiate my own deal here. So going in, we knew that we potentially ruffled some feathers in about 3 to 5 professions that have a lot of power and a lot of say. And we understood it. We completely understood it. Coming into this. And over the last week, we have certainly given them all a lot of stuff to get mad about and become loud about. We have messed up in that particular aspect. And by we, I mean, we're a conversation show. People are having conversations. We live in a country that has freedom of speech, but also you're going to have to deal with the consequences of your freedom of speech. So what I'm saying is we've given a lot of people who've been waiting for us to fail a lot of ammo and things to attack us for over the last week. And we would love to get back to the point where we just move on and continue to silence all the haters over here who can't negotiate as good as I can, all the people over here who can't create a show as good as us, and all the people up here who just don't always be here, and they're going to hustle and do their thing, which I respect. But we need to do that, and that is our focus. That is our goal. And Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. He's a 4-time MVP. He's a massive piece of the NFL story. Whenever you go back and tell it, he will be a huge part of it. We are very lucky to get a chance to chat with him and learn from him. Some of his thoughts and opinions, though, do piss off a lot of people. And I'm pumped that is no longer going to be every single Wednesday of my life, which it has been for the last few weeks. On Friday, obviously, I threw us into the fire as well. Forever stand by that. Everything else, though, just can't do that and not what we want to be known for. And I'm also pumped that I don't have to do these types of talks anymore.
Damn. So Carrie Champion and them got what they wanted. The Senator Loki with the 10 gifted Hotep Jesus memberships. Shout out to Loki. This segment of the show is brought to you by the Senator Loki. Appreciate you, bro. Single-handedly holding this channel down. Or holding it up. Building it up. Whatever makes sense. Wow. Isn't that interesting? I chose to talk about this and then this breaks later on. They said he can't talk about this on ESPN. ESPN was right, and they were right. ESPN said no more. Cut that shit out. And no more Aaron Rodgers. No more of these topics. And they obliged because they want to keep that money flowing. And I'm not mad at the guests because, you know, they got family to feed and all that. And ESPN obviously would fire their asses. Otherwise, they would have told ESPN, go fuck yourself. Or they don't have enough leverage to do that. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, he kind of threw him under the bus a little bit. Yeah. Probably had a nice meeting or email from ESPN. Hey, you know, you guys can't do this shit no more. Cut the fuck out. You fucking with our money. Yeah, ESPN is woke. Of course they are. Hotep's been told you. Shout out to Heather. Hotep's been told you. Damn shame. Damn shame. Not surprised, though. Not surprised. Oh, this is Whitlock talking about Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, I'm not about to watch this. I really don't give a fuck about Whitlock or Stephen A. Smith. Shout out to Nerd. He just sent me the clips, but yeah, I'm out of here. Today is Wednesday, Chess Wednesday. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Kick.com/Hotep Jesus for chess lessons for the elite and dignified. So join us. Subscribe to my Kick channel, kick.com/Hotep Jesus for those rather interesting and challenging chess lessons. So we'll be back tonight for that, 8 p.m. If not, I'll see y'all tomorrow for another episode of the Grift Report live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Be well, be merry. Tell somebody in your family that you love them. I Hotep and Bill.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early? He's not tapped in.